Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO The Batman set number 76183, Batcave the Riddler Face-Off. This has 581 pieces, 6 minifigures, and it retails for $80 in the US. That is kind of an insanely high price, I'll tell you guys right off the bat, but this is my first Batman set review, and I'm super excited to talk about this one. So here is our new Robert Pattinson Batman minifigure, and while I like the graphic design on this, I'm really not happy with how the entire thing turned out. So I really like the torso print. The leg print is cool, but it just doesn't continue around the sides, which seems really lame. I mean, this is like a huge new movie, and LEGO loves Batman sets. So I would have really preferred dual molded legs, but at the very least I would have expected side leg printing. The other thing is the cowl. That is a horrible cowl. It looks nothing like his in the movie. He doesn't have ears that long. He kind of has like mid-length ears, and then the cowl is also just a really weird shape, and I don't even think it has a chin strap. I'm just gonna grab the box so that you guys can compare it. Yeah, he does not have a chin strap in the movie. He does not have ears that long, and it's just a very strange bulbous shape up here. And so I really don't like that LEGO has just reused the existing Batman long-eared cowl for him, because it just doesn't work at all and he deserves better. He also has the one-hole cape. I really hate these as well. I just think they drape awkwardly. Great back printing though. I really love that. And then underneath, he does just have the same standard Bruce Wayne face. Again, that's irritating, but I've come to expect nothing less from LEGO. Because they use that same face for Christian Bale, so it's not the end of the world. But they do include a separate head for him, separate head and hair, so that's pretty nice. It is just the reuse of the Tom Riddle face from Harry Potter, but I think it looks enough like Robert Pattinson that doesn't really bother me. His hair was sticking to his head a little bit, but there's a better look at the alternate face. I guess Bruce Wayne is going to be two vigilantes in this movie, because you also get this outfit, which is called the Drifter. I really like the leg print. I don't know if it's new, but it might be. I do think the torso print is new, and that looks great. Again, we have no idea what context this appears in the movie. I think it's only been seen in one trailer. But I do like that you get this mannequin design. I like the dirt bike helmet, and then you can also just go ahead and put the Bruce Wayne face on this outfit. And so that's really cool. I really like that LEGO included that. Then we've got Selina Kyle, who will become Catwoman. I really like this minifigure as well. Great torso printing. I wish she had leg printing though. She's holding a short black chain. That's a cool accessory. And when the sets were revealed, it looked like she had a new mold for her hair. Unfortunately, she doesn't. I would have liked to see one, because this definitely works, but I mean, she has spikier short hair in the movie, so I would have rather seen a new mold. But again, I think it's sad that Batman didn't get a new mold. If anyone was going to get a new mold, it should have been him. So she has great back printing as well. And then I really like her face. This is a new face. I like both expressions, although I kind of wish that she had a slightly meaner one. Because even in this one, she's still smiling, and she kind of seems to be pretty grumpy in the movie. And she comes with a motorcycle helmet. So a lot of different accessories for these characters. That looks pretty great, but it is just the standard style of LEGO motorcycle helmet. Then we've got the main villain of the movie, Riddler. He basically looks like the Zodiac Killer. Like, he looks like a very grounded, real-world serial killer, and not like the Riddler from the comics. I do wish he had a cooler costume, but I mean, this is a great, version of the movie design. I really like his gun, because it's the more realistic style one, not like the Alien Conquest one. He also has what I think is a new phone print for 2021, 2022. That's great. Good torso print. Love the symbol there. I really like his face as well, kind of wrapped up with all of those bandages. And his hair doesn't show through in the movie, so you can just remove it. Although then, of course, he looks kind of weird with the stud. But there's great back printing for the face, too, and, I mean, for the torso. But I'm just really impressed that they went to all that effort to put that much detail when it's usually covered by the hair. And then lastly, he does come with a bundle of dynamite as well. The James Gordon minifigure is also really good. I think that's a new torso print. Definitely not new legs, though. Those have been around since 2017. Love to see LEGO reusing those. And I really like the face print. That's just such a perfect approximation of Jeffrey Wright's Jim Gordon. I also like the black handcuffs, because they are not as common as the gray ones. He has an old-style revolver, a little bit of back printing, and a pretty cool alternate face. I really like the face. That's like my favorite part of this minifigure. Lastly, we have Alfred. He's a pretty basic minifigure, but he still looks good. He does have, like, his torso printing is just kind of flat, I guess. It's not that detailed. It looks older. I think it's a new print, but I wouldn't be surprised if it had been used in Lego City or something. He's holding an upside down wand as a small cane. I thought that that's a pretty clever parts usage. And I really like the new face print for him. It is a little bit weird that the hair is a different color than the beard, but again, that is accurate to the movie. I don't think that this was the best hairpiece choice, though. I like that alternate face, but I think he should have had kind of like the wavy hair. I guess like basically Riddler's style of hair in light gray, I think would have worked better for him. There are a couple of builds disconnected from the main one. This is Batman's motorcycle. It's basically just a slightly smaller version of almost the exact same one that we get in the smallest Batman set. So seems kind of useless in that respect. But I do like it when Batcave sets include bat pods. I just think it's nice, and it does add a lot of play value. I like these new tires that don't fully cover these wheels. There are these interesting new brick pieces that kind of like hold the wheels in place. And overall, this is really detailed for such a small motorcycle. Like, you've got grills, you have little like exhaust vents that I guess also kind of work as kickstands, because this thing does tend to fall over since like the wheels are so thin. But that lets you put it into like a little bit of a leaning pose, so that's cool. This doesn't really try to approximate the bat cowling that the smaller set does, but you do have the headlight, and again, like details like this, like having the bars go down around the wheels to look like struts, like holding it in place. That's just not something I'd really expect from such a small build. There is a little place to seat Batman, and then you've just got some handlebars here. So overall, it's pretty nice, but I do like the one in the smaller set better. The main computer terminal is also disconnected from the build, which is kind of surprising, but it kind of goes back and forth on rails. And I really like this thing. So you can angle these screens in and out. You can kind of see my light reflecting there. And I really like just these designs are pretty cool. You'll notice that there's something going on with that Riddler sign. We'll talk about that in a second. I really like that art of the Riddler in the center. And then there's just a bunch of different diagnostics like the cowl, batarang, Batmobile. On this side, you've got the Bat Pod or Bat Cycle. I don't know if they'll be calling it the Bat Pod in the movie. There's a little mug here, a red magnifying glass, and then a stickered keyboard. That's what it's called. So that's nice. And then you've got this slightly elevated chair for Batman. I would have preferred seeing something built up. I think that would have been nicer. And then the whole thing is supported back here with a couple of clear panels. So what's going on with this red magnifying glass, you actually get 3 of these stickered 2x2 tiles. And when you put the magnifying glass over them, they show you like different things. So I'm gonna actually put that back. But you've got this one over here. And so when you put the magnifying glass over it, I hope this is showing up on screen, it starts to reveal like the riddle. So I think that that's really awesome. This one says "To the Batman," which we've seen in the trailers. This is just such a clever play feature. Like when I was a kid, I would have loved this. Then you have this one that just shows like the Riddler's face. So that's pretty cool. And then this one shows his, again, like Zodiac Killer-esque symbol. So yeah, this is just like, this is the coolest play feature I've seen in a Lego set in a really long time. This is like the coolest play feature since Friends had that water map where when you wet it, it would like reveal the treasure. And so this just reveals the Batarang. But I think it's really nice that Lego, you know, like didn't just leave the riddles as separate pieces, that they actually put one on the screen as well. So here's the main build. It's fairly large, but it's all extremely open. You can see that this isn't really a bat cave. It's more like a bat abandoned train terminal. Because you can see it says Wayne Terminus up there. So I guess Batman's parents owned a little train station. But there's a lot of stuff to look at here. I just wanted to show you guys the whole thing first, and then we'll go in and look at some of the details. So these side sections are actually on hinges, so you can kind of move them all the way out. Well, not all the way because they get stopped, but you can move them out this far, or you can lock them into place. I do like that because it lets you spread things out a little bit. You have a little weapons rack over here with a grappling hook gun. And then I really like this detail as well, this map of Gotham. These large stickers, they can be annoying to apply, but they look so good. That's like my favorite part of any Batcave, is just all of the stickered terminals. And then you've got this little computer over here, which also, I don't think that needed to be a sticker. They could have just used the printed keyboard, but that's kind of cool. And that is not one of the like revealing riddles. And then over here, you've got just, I really like kind of the old Gothic style train station vibes this has, because these lights are exactly what I would expect to see in a train station. And then you've got a little staircase going up to here. And I guess we'll just, sorry for knocking the camera there. I guess we'll just finish off around this side. You can see that it is open back here. I don't love that. I don't like that it's open here because it's not open on the other side, but it's not the end of the world. There's some nice masonry brick detailing down there, and then you do have that little area over here, and that's actually to put the Drifter costume. So that's cool, but again, I would have preferred if that was behind glass or something and not just sitting out in the open air. And then I guess we might as well look at the main terminal area. So here are the rails that I was talking about, like where the train would have come through. There's 4 of these stickered kind of like grill pieces, grill ramps. That irritates me a little bit. Those could have been printed if they were going to be, if they were going to be repeated 4 times. But this is where the computer terminal goes, because you can see there's just some plates down there, and then they just slide between those rails, and then you can move this back and forth. So I think that's pretty cool, but it does get caught sometimes. It's not like very smooth. So that's kind of irritating, because when pushing it back or pulling it forward, like it can get caught and then just fall off. But I think it's still nice that there is that kind of feature. This side is kind of a workstation almost. So there's a little end table with a bottle of what I'm presuming is alcohol there. And then you get a full set of tools in this set. That's great, but I really wish there was a workbench or something for him to be working on his cowl, because I guess you can put the motorcycle up here and pretend like he's working on it. But again, even if there was like a place to actually stand the motorcycle, because it barely fits here and then it just wants to like fall off. So I feel like that could have been executed a little bit better. And then on this side, you have a chainsaw for some reason. And then just like this little thing. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but that's like a welder's device. So that's cool, I guess, just more detail. And I do like the way that these kind of wings are built, just because I think it's interesting to have, kind of these industrial looking barred areas, and they are pretty strong, as you can see from the Technic axles going through there. So like I said, this side of the staircase is closed up, and that's because there's a little cell for the Riddler. I really like the graphic design on this sticker, but the actual sticker was a pain to apply because it doesn't go edge to edge on the piece, which is kind of dumb to me. And so I like that this is kind of barred off with a chain. You can just break that off and then open the door, although I guess the end of the chain does kind of get in the way, so you just have to take the whole thing off, and then you can open the door normally. So that works just fine. Also, I feel like that sticker's a little bit crooked, so that's going to bother me now. But if you turn this thing around, you can actually see that, like any good Lego jail cell, you can just pull this straight off and then get the minifigure out from captivity. So that's cool. I'll go ahead and stick the Riddler in there now. It's very small, but I mean, it works just fine. And then around the other side, you can kind of see that there is a glass window over there. And that's kind of what I wanted for the Drifter area. I think there should have just been 2 glass windows so that that could actually just be a little bit protected. And I guess that basically brings us to the end of the build. There's no railings or anything on these other staircases, but I kind of think that's fine because this is such a narrow area. I do really like the arch that's created here, but yeah, there's very little space to put minifigures up here. I do really like these builds for the like train station lights. I think that they really complete the look of everything. And then on the other side, I keep breaking this piece off. That's like the most annoying thing here. But over here, you do have that nice printed clock piece that originated with the Disney Castle. So I really like the detailing overall. But one thing is, like, this thing is just so extremely light when you pick it up. It's kind of insane. Like, you really don't feel like you have your money's worth just because of how light this thing is. Like, there's so few pieces that went into this. Like, I cannot stress that enough. And lastly, what you can do if you buy the Batmobile set is you can actually have this come through the middle of the train station, which is why the computer terminal is removable. I think that that's really awesome. Often Lego Batcave sets have space for the Batmobiles that come out in the same wave to come through the doors or whatever. So I think that that's really nice, and this does look really cool, like coming through on those ramps. There's one last look at the completed Batcave, and I guess we should go ahead and wrap up this review. Here are the extra pieces. You do get some nice ones like the wand, the batarang, the handcuffs, the revolver. I'm obsessed with the box art for these Lego Batman sets. I really love the red and black color scheme. I like the way the minifigures are represented in these little circles. It reminds me of like the kind of profile pictures for them in the video games. Really like the rest of the art. Love the Batman figure in the corner, logo on top, Batman as the life size. And the back of the box does show you how you can connect the Batmobile to the cave. I mean, I like the art of Batman in the corner, but it's just comical because he looks nothing like the one on the front of the box. And then lastly, the other thing I really like is I love this little image of Selina up at the top of the workstation. The instruction manual is pretty big surface area, but it is so thin. Again, this is the size of an $80 set's instruction manual. That's just insane. This was a very, very quick build. It was only like for, I think, 5 numbered bags, and I finished it in like an hour or two, which was like fast for me. And then you do have this nice spread of all of the sets at the back, but there's no other advertisements, not even for the Technic Batmobile. So I feel like you guys can kind of assume what I think of this set. I think that this is a great set. Honestly, as the flagship set for the Batman, I'd give this like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I'd give it a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't for that horrendous price. This has 581 pieces. This has 6 minifigures, 4 of which are exclusive. But I mean, it's freaking insane. Like, why is this set $80? There's no reason on earth why this should cost $80. I thought this would be a $70 set when it was revealed, and it would have been $10 overpriced at $70. This is like the definition of a $60 set. This is like barely a $60 set. It's only a $60 set because they've used their limited pieces to make it have a big footprint, even though it has absolutely nothing of like substance to it. So the fact that it's $80, that's like Star Wars level of bad pricing. I think it's horrible. I did buy this for $80. I would not recommend that you buy it for $80. Wait for this to go on sale. Eventually it will, and it will be so much better if you buy it for like $64 is I think 20% off of 80. That would be a much better price. So I'm really disappointed in that because for such an insane price, and I mean, again, it does have large pieces, but whatever. It does not have enough large pieces to justify $80 of stuff. Again, this thing is so light, it's crazy. I've never picked up an $80 Lego set and like felt like it was this light. For the people, you know, that want to measure by weight instead of price per part. So for $80, these flag pieces should have been printed. Batman definitely should have gotten a new cowl. Batman definitely should have gotten dual molded legs. Batman should have gotten printed arms and dual molded legs and a new mold for a cowl and a new face print at this price point. So I have no idea where the budget went here, but yeah, this is just not it for $80. And the other thing is there's not really anything to do with this Batcave. That's the other disappointing thing. Other Batcaves have had a lot of fun play features. This one just has a motorcycle, some rails, and like a jail cell. That's it. That is kind of disappointing. There's not even like a dedicated workbench area. These wings, like it's cool that you can spread these things out, but like I would kind of expect more to spread out. So yeah, I think this is like one of the best looking Batcaves that Lego has made, but I think it's one of like the worst overall when all is said and done. So let me know what you guys think about this set. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.